welcome to Week 9 in review. Cobra Kai breaks the scoreboard this week, dropping a league season high 174.04 points on Man-Bunga Knights. Final score in this one, 174.04 to 130.04. Dalvin fucking Cook in fuego again this week. He scores 43.2 points on 22 carries for 206 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also added 2 catches for 46 yards. So far this season, Cook has 206.1 points. His worst week was in week 2. He scored 16.1. And also has a total of 13 touchdowns. Big Ben scored big for Cobra Kai. Big Ben had 33.04. More on Big Ben later. And McLaurin, 23 points. Man-Bunga in his very respectable 130.04 was led by Devontae Adams with 30... Man, I can't read my own writing. 34.3, 36.3, 30.3? I don't know. Who cares? He lost. Herbert! Man, another Herbert sighting. Every week, this kid is lighting it up. 29.44 and Fuller 20.5. In another shootout, Chili Dogs top Belichick. 152.1 to 128.52. Josh Allen led the Dogs to victory with 47, his season's best, on 31 of 38 passing for 415 yards and 3 touchdowns. Josh also ran for 14 yards and another score. Did you know Josh Allen is currently ranked 3rd at his position at this point in the season? Not bad for a 9th round pick, 99th player picked overall. DJ Chark had 26.1 and Juju added 18.3 for the winners. Belly is led by Kyler Murray and his 47.92 points, which led this week's scoring. DK Metcalf, and this was apparently the initial bowl. Metcalf had 22.3 and 15.9 from James Robinson. St. Lucia Zooks and Bathtub Gin, their 6th loss in a row. Zooks won 12.2 to Bathtub Gin's 104.36. No surprise here, Zooks are led by Russell Wilson and his 32.1 points. Wilson went 28 of 41 for 390 and 2 touchdowns. Also ran one in on the ground. Usually that's what you do on the ground, is run. But I don't know. He could have walked it in. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, he did have 4 turnovers. Wilson did have 4 turnovers in that game. Would have bumped him up to over 40 points for the week. CMC, 32.1. Although there's some questions as to whether or not we'll see McCaffrey in this coming week's matchup. And Cooks, 15.8. Bathtub Gin, led by Judy, is 24. Allen, 22.8. And Aguilar, 12.5. Sheboygan Headbangers top the Snakes, 110.98 to 101.56. Bangers are led by Mahomes, 40.88 points on 30 of 45 passing for 372 yards and 4 goddamn touchdowns. If you remember, back in week 3, Mahomes became the fastest quarterback to 10,000 yards. This week, he breaks Dan Marino's 34-year-old record as he becomes the fastest QB to 100 passing touchdowns. He did it in 40 games, took Danny Marino 44. Also in Sheboygan scoring, John Brown had 13.9, and we had a Danny Amendola sighting as he put 11.4 on the scoreboard. Snakes were led by Matt Ryan and his 28.36 points. The Baltimore D had 13, And cream of some young guy, Koo, had 12. And you know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know it's a bad week when both your defense and your kicker are in your top 3 scoring. Moving on, Lake Show puts out the Pilot Light Fire 108.16 to 90.72. Lake is led by Tariq Hill, who reeled in 9 catches for 113 yards and 2 scores. That was a season high for Hill with his 30.6. Also, scoring big for the Lake Show was Cam Newton with 24.56 in that Monday night game, and Antonio Gibson with 13. The Lights are led by Christian, Don't Call Me Captain Kirk, and his 22.8 points. Ryan Tannehill added 18.62. And Jason, Don't Call Me Sanders, chipped in 14. And speaking of Saunders, he leads week 9 with the most ruined pairs of underwear at 2 shit-stained pairs. But the Clash City Rockers come out smelling like a rose versus Dragers, 98.74 to 98.2 of 0.54 squeaker. And if you go back to Sunday afternoon, I actually had a little bit more of a lead, and then there was a scoring adjustment overnight on Sunday that dropped us to within that half a point difference. Hence the second pair of underwear ruined. Moving on, Rockers are led by Deshaun Watson. Watson had 28.24 points on 19 of 32 passing for 281 and 2 scores. Watson also added 50 yards rushing. Julio Jones had 13.9 and Josh Jacobs had 13.3. And apparently the Rockers lead the league in players with a J in their name as well. For the Dragers, Aaron Rodgers 38.9, Stephon Diggs 18.3, and Aaron Jones 10.4. All right, that does it for the games. Guys, we have 5 regular season games left. Only one game separates first and second in each of the divisions, and really, only one game separates the top 5 teams in the league. In Quahog, hang on a second. I assure you there's nothing but orange juice in that glass. In Quahog, Belichick still leads, but sees his lead shrink to 1 game. Belichick now 6-3. Cobra Kai 5-4. Knocking on that door. Bathtub Gin 3-6. Still good enough to be in front of the Dragers 2-7. Who, by the way, mathematically still in it. In the Brewers, Tucket Brewers division, Chili Dogs clinging to that 1-game lead over St. Lucia Zooks and the Sheboygan Headbangers. Dogs 6-3. Zooks and Sheboygan both 5-4. Pilot Lights just 2 games back at 4-5. Drunken Clam. Mambunga also 1 game up on Clash City Rockers. Mambunga is 6-3. Rockers 5-4. Lake Show 4-5. Rattlesnakes pulling up the rear at 3-6. We have some huge games coming up this week. We have Rockers, Zooks. Both teams 5-4, and 1 game out of first place in their divisions. And the Rockers are seriously hoping Christian McCaffrey does not play this week. Sheboygan Headbangers versus Mambunga Knights at 5-4, and league co-founder Sheboygan Headbangers find themselves in a game that matters this late in the season. Give it up for Chopper. Woo! Let's see. They take on first place Man U. Man U. Man U stick. And And in another 5-4 versus 6-3 game, Cobra Kai puts their 3-game win streak on the line versus the Chili Dogs. That's going to be a good one, too. All right, news and notes. Just some COVID shit here. In the time frame from November 1 to November 7, 56 NFL employees, including 15 players and 41 staff members, returned positive COVID tests. Most notably of these, and I guess technically it was outside that range, but anyway, Big Ben tested, let me back that up, did not necessarily test positive. He was placed in the COVID-19 list due to exposure to the tight end who did test positive. But the Steelers are optimistic that Big Ben will play this weekend. However, with the number of COVID positive tests that are being returned, not only across the country but in the NFL itself, league officials are making contingency plans for future game cancellations, as well as the possibility of a 16-team playoff field in the not-so-distant future. So, we've made it through 9 weeks. This is 10. I will be honest, I wasn't sure we'd make it this far, but it's been a great season so far. Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep hoping that COVID doesn't affect it too much, and that we have some normalcy over these last 5 or 6 weeks, and we'll try and get our whole season in before the shit hits the fan. So, that's it for week 9. We're on to week 10. Let's see what we got here. I don't even know what the hell's going on. What the hell's going on out here? Oh, right. Thursday night. Indianapolis at Tennessee. That should be not too bad. What other good games we got coming up? Well, it would have been good, but one of these teams stinks. Sunday night game is the Ravens-Patriots. I don't think we'll carry the weight as some of our past games have. Was everything we could do just to get past the Jets. So even though it's in New England, I'm expecting a big Baltimore Raven win in that one. All right, that's all I got. It's Wednesday afternoon. We're just over 24 hours away from the start of Week 10. Get your lineups in. Oh, shit, bye week. Atlanta, Dallas, Kansas City. Who's playing Mahomes this week, you lucky bastard? And the Jets. Who cares? That's it. We got nothing. I got nothing. 13 minutes, 12 seconds, and we're out.